Oh, yes. Let's start tonight with a death. Angelo Dundee worked with dozens of world champions, from Carmen Basilio in 1955 through to Oscar de la Hoya in 2008. That is absolutely incredible, isn't it? Now, in the middle, he was ever present as the man in the corner for Muhammad Ali, or, as Angelo always called him, my guy. He died in Florida yesterday. He was 90. Now, in 1992... he worked with Peckham heavyweight Derek Sweet D Williams. Williams was preparing for a showdown at the Royal Albert Hall with Lennox Lewis. Derek and Angelo spent 8 weeks in Miami. I'm delighted to say that Sweet D joins me on the line now. Good evening, Derek.
Hey, good evening, Steve.
How are you? Derek, first of all, what was your first impression when you went over there and walked into Angelo's gym to start working with him?
You know, me and Angelo for the first time, Angelo made me feel exactly at home. He seemed like someone I had always known all my life, because he just welcomed me straight away like part of the family.
Oh. Now, Derek, he was famous for making fighters do things without really asking them. Asking them, because he called it kidology. Now,
yeah.
I'm told he tricked you a few times.
Yeah. This guy Angelo was an amazing character. I think he's way ahead of his time, because I think he was a psychologist, sports psychologist, because I didn't used to throw no left hooks, right?
Yeah.
And he used to say to me, "Good, nice, I like the way you come back with that left hook after your right hand." So I start throwing my left hook. Then he say, "Good, I like the way you lean to the left and come back to the right hand." So he used to just say things, suggest things that he want you to do. And instead of saying that you're not doing it, he told you, "Oh, I like the way you do this. I like the way you do it." So you start to do it. So you get all the credit and you get all the claim, and you start feeling to yourself, because it's an ego thing with boxers. And a lot of times guys like to know that they're the man. So he made you feel like you're always in control.
And if ever there's a man to make you feel like the man, it must have been Angelo Dundee, with all that history, all those years with Ali.
Definitely. I mean, I realised about him as well. He made anything that's bad look really good. Like, he came, we spent all the time in his training camp. He had an amazing gym in Florida. And when we came here about a week or so before the Lewis fight, we went to my gym in Peckham, which wasn't really in the best of shape. Yeah. And we had a hole in the ceiling, and it was raining that day, so we had a bucket collecting the raindrops. And Angelo came up and he smiled. He said, "Oh my, ain't it great?" He said, "You got the God's nature coming in while you're training. Ain't it great? Ain't it fancy?" So we started to appreciate the hole in the ceiling.
Yeah, so no matter what it was, he turned it into a positive.
Yeah, he turned it around.
Now, what about when you're actually in the gym, Derek, and there's no cameras there, there's no press there, and it's just you and him talking, him in your face. I mean, it just seems to me that's when he did his best work, one-on-one.
That's right. He used to get into your head, make you think that you won the fight. He was like having a good racehorse with a good jockey on the back. And yeah. Angelo definitely, I mean, when we were fighting, preparing for Lewis, he made me think Lewis didn't have no chance at all. Oh. You know what I mean? He made it look like Lewis had made a mistake. And he done that to all the guys. Anytime you was fighting, you just couldn't wait for the first bell, because you knew to yourself that, well, this guy's in trouble.
And that's, I mean, to be able to give that confidence to a fighter, half the battle's won, Derek.
Yes, that's right. I mean, it became a case where you wanted him around. If Angelo wasn't around, you felt like, well, where's Angelo? I mean, a few times when he said he'll be late, and they said I could start training until he got there, I didn't want him to go. I wanted to wait for him to come.
Oh, well.
You know what I mean? So he's like a guy that you want around. You want him around you all the time. His presence was amazing.
Oh, now, Derek, when you were out there working with him, I mean, he struck me as a guy, even though he had all that history with Sugar Ray and with obviously with Muhammad. He wasn't the type of guy that only talked about the past, was he?
No.
He didn't just live exclusively 25 years earlier in his mind.
No,
did he?
He was living in the present. The most important thing about him, that he had time for everyone. He gave you time. I mean, we used to talk a lot about. I like to talk about Ali, so he told me some of the stories. But I mean, he was a guy that would listen as well and talk about everyday life, which was amazing. I think he's definitely a guy that is a rarity, and now he's definitely going to be missed in the boxing game. And I think it's going to be very hard to find someone like him to fill his shoes.
So do I. I mean, I mentioned that at the top. He was in the corner with his first champion in '55.
Okay.
And he was working with De La Hoya against Pacquiao in 2008.
Right.
That's going some, isn't it?
Yeah, his character was a pleasant man. I mean, I didn't see him shouting, or he didn't shout or swear or carry on. Sometimes people got excited in gyms, and Angelo wasn't one of them. He was a guy that was remained cool, calm, and collected all the time. And you just know to yourself, right, that you was incapable and comfortable. You felt comfortable with him around.
Oh, that's a lot, and there's nothing more that a fight wants. Now, Derek, let me ask you this before I let you go, and thanks for sharing your Dundee memories. What are you up to at the moment, Sweet D?
Right now, I'm down in the city. I'm at Waterloo. I train the city guys, to get in shape and to box. A lot of guys really do enjoy boxing. I didn't realise it's such a popular sport.
It's massive. Are you training them for white-collar bouts or just keeping
a lot
fit?
of them for fitness, but originally I started them training for fitness, but now they want to compete. And that's part of my Angelo trick. We're motivating them, making them believe that they can become world champions. So now they're all on top of their game.
Derek, how can people find out? How can people join that? Are you online or is it just a gym?
I'm down at Soho Gyms in Waterloo, Brad Street. I'm down there. If they call Soho Gym,
Soho Gym Waterloo.
Yep. I don't know if I can give you the number.
Yeah, go on, bro.
Yes, 0207 261 9798, and just call up to speak to me, and they're good.
Listen, Derek, we'll do anything. Listen, you and I will speak soon, and hopefully we'll get together. Derek Sweet D. Williams, the king of Peckham. See you later, Big Dale. Derek trained over there for 8 weeks. He lost to Lennox Lewis. Hey, but listen, that was a very good Lennox Lewis. Within 2 or 3 years, he was terrorising everybody. If you fancy training with a genuine bona fide heavyweight, a guy that shared hundreds of rounds with Mike Tyson as well, by the way, and having fought Lennox Lewis, and it was brutal for a couple of rounds till he got beat. Having fought Lennox Lewis, he then became one of Lennox's sparring partners for various fights. You want to be involved, you want some personal one-on-one training with a proper heavyweight and not a poser, not a cowboy. And we saw a few of those today, Ollie and I, down at the down at the Peacock, and that was only in the press room. The boxing was okay. It was the press area. God, blimey, there was some cowboys in there. Anyway, it's the Soho Gym. That's down in Waterloo, and the number 0207 261 9798 to train. Be trained by Derek Sweet D. Williams, who spent a lot of time with Angelo Dundee. I remember at the time, Derek, he was really in awe of this kid. Now, a bit of